in an airfield in Georgia. The tension as palpable as the humidity. A new plane is scheduled to make its first flight tomorrow, and things have to go well. The F-22 Raptor is a fighter for the next century. This conglomeration of titanium, aluminium, and thermoplastics incorporates bold and forward-thinking designs. It possesses speed, stealth, and flight control systems designed to give its pilot overwhelming superiority against the current and future enemy weapon systems. It's the fighter that today's children may fly tomorrow. With it, they will be masters of future air war, capable of overwhelming an enemy into submission. More than 10 years of work and complicated web of contractors and subcontractors in 46 states have gone into producing this next-generation fighter. But already the Raptor has a troubled past. First, the Air Force made demands for fighter capabilities, but no one was sure they could be met. The funding cuts caused restructuring and repeated delays in development. A prototype crashed. A subsequent version had so many problems, its first test flight was delayed for months. The plane has faced and still faces criticism from advocates of other planes and from Congress, which has been fretting over the F-22's cost. The last thing the plane's supporters need now is a bungled test flight that adds to the criticism, that further clouds the future. The people who know this plane immediately believe this is what America needed for the future. They are as ardent in the support for the F-22 as the critics are opposing it.
That's quite the phrase once upon a time. So there's only two kinds of airplanes. There's F-22s and there's targets.
But there are tests to be passed, and tomorrow will be one of them. Inside Building B1 at Lockheed Martin Aeronautical Systems in Marietta, Georgia, a deceptive peacefulness hangs over the assembly line. Work here is also done after months of preparation. An aircraft assembled here will take flight for its first time. A major milestone for even the simplest airframe. Sitting on a ramp some 2 miles away, the F-22 is not scheduled to take off for at least 6 hours, but already crew members are hard at work. They double-check and triple-check every last inch of the aircraft. Absolutely no one wants their assembly, their system, their one small piece in this $187 million puzzle to go awry. In fact, components on the ship 4002, as the aircraft is known here, have been meticulously tested and retested ever since the plane rolled out of the assembly hangar in February, some 4 months ago now. The day has come for this aircraft's maiden flight. The F-22 cannot stumble. The Raptor must accomplish what is called a flight with no squawks. That is a test flight that goes off without a hitch. At 5 a.m., the pace of preparations starts to pick up. No detail, however small, can be overlooked. Not even the removal of a potentially damaging pebble. A cleaning truck patrols the ramp area, vacuuming up such debris. Lockheed Martin's security officer, Patty Howarth, holds a quick briefing to remind her staff of their priorities.
Everybody forgot everything they learned on how to drive on the flight line, and every single person who had a flight line pass was actually driving on Friday. Everyone.
Howarth will spend the rest of the morning making sure her security team keeps the taxiway clear. Then, she will join on the rescue team standing by to assist with security in the case something goes wrong. Patty also worked on the security detail when Ship 1 flew for the first time.
It was probably one of the greatest days of my life. I've never really been involved in aircraft, and I thought, oh, it'll just be another day. But it was probably 110 the first day it lifted off, and I had goosebumps going up my spine.
As the sun rises, responsibilities are handed off from the night crew to the crew that will launch the plane. Crew Chief Terry Beyer oversees it all, supervising every crew member working on the F-22 today. He's been up since 2 a.m.
A very vested personal interest. Very little sleep last night. Toss and turn. It's been 8 years to get this far, so we're looking forward to a fun day.
Among Beyer's responsibilities this morning is ensuring all instrumentation and systems are functioning, so the team can get data on the plane's performance. That data will flow back to a control room here at Marietta.
It's very important to the program, and we've demonstrated not only to the company people, but to the general America and Congress that this airplane can be built here in Marietta, and we have competent people. We've decreased our build time here by over 3 months, and the number of write-ups that we have left open to do is down to a handful of write-ups versus the first airplane. We had significant things that we had to fix when we come back, as far as things that we couldn't complete to go fly.
Beyer believes that won't be the case this time, but he won't know for sure until his flight is over. The man with the best vantage point to compare Ship 1 and Ship 2 is test pilot Paul Metz. Metz, who flew Raptor 1 on its first flight, is a former U.S. Air Force fighter pilot with more than 7,000 hours flight time and more than 33 years of experience. He's been the chief test pilot for the F-22 program since 1992.
How dangerous is my job? They don't sell insurance too readily to us for this job, but quite frankly, the job has become much safer and much more controlled. If you look back to the early days of flight test, there were a great number of losses of life in aircraft. We're actually able to use simulators today to predict very, very well what we're going to see.
After several flights in the first F-22, Metz thinks the aircraft will endure itself to future pilots in a number of ways.
From the simple things like amazingly soft landings and the ability to feel really good about yourself when you come back from a flight in terms of your ability to fly it, to extreme maneuverability, to cockpit displays and information that are beyond the realm of the current fighter pilots to envision, and the ability to sneak around in space without people seeing you. All of these things together make for a tremendous package, and the fighter pilots in the future are going to point to the F-22 as their favorite. I'm sure of that.
On the ramp, the ground crew continues working. Byers is already pacing. Dan Stevens is the senior avionics technician for the F-22 program. He's responsible for the computers and other electronics on the aircraft to make sure they are functioning and ready when the pilot gets into the cockpit. Backing him up are a team of experts for every computer on the plane.
We actually have IPT engineers that are ready for their systems if they develop problems to answer any questions. If I have a question, that I know who to go to. We have experts on every component on the aircraft.
The F-22's pioneering electronics are perhaps the crew's biggest source of worry.